Hello guys, welcome back to a new video. My name is Aina Suraya. So today we're gonna play Bedrot. And if you notice, I got myself a dedicated microphone, because before this I was using my own earphone microphone, so it's not really just a mic, it's just a simple earphone. So wait, let me see. Fast message, touch UI, maybe a bit lesser lah kot. $70, okay. No, 70. Wait, I'm so dumb. Okay. How do I need to scroll sahaja. Alright, let's get back to the wait, how do you say that? Okay, let's jump into it. Bedrot. This game contains swearing, flies, trash, and bed rotting. I do that every day, but no trash, no swearing. Would you like to view the spoiler content warnings? Heck. Spoiler content warning? What do you mean? Heck yeah, maybe. This game also contains themes of depression, isolation, despair, and agoraphobia. Okay. Reader discretion is advised. Now, dear reader, let's begin. Yes, let's begin. How long has your life been like this? I don't know, since my teen years. You haven't a clue, but given your situation, you don't care about that. Okay. Rise and shine, Alice Abbott. Every time I heard Rise and Shine, it just reminds me of Kylie Jenner. What time is it? The time really shouldn't matter to you, not when you're just gonna stay inside all day. Whatever, I'm just gonna do what I do best, sit and watch TV. It's gotten so bad that you can't bring yourself to get out of bed. In order to look around, you find yourself having to click on everything in the room. Click. Trash has piled up so much that it almost covers the windows. I would take out the garbage if I didn't have to go outside. That's sad. You've been meaning to call someone to fix this. Alas, the stench of rotting wood is nothing for you, not when you live with the flies. You're grateful for this. Grateful that you don't have to go out for food. Yeah, we have Uber Eats if you're not in Malaysia. I think in America they have Uber Eats. What else? DoorDash. Here we have Food Panda and Grab. Bongkos. What else? I'm promoting food delivery app here. Shopee Food. Yeah. Otherwise you would die long ago. Looks like the floor has become your trash bin for tissues. You haven't bothered to clean that up. Why? Too much of a hassle when you already live in filth. You're so tired most of the time that you can't even bring yourself to put the trash in here. You would have lost your head without this lovely contraption. I think myself, I watch a lot of things to numb what I feel, so yeah. You switch the TV on, just like every single day. People always tell you to be consistent, and here you are, consistently staying in bed and watching TV. Even though you do this every day, the TV's flickering light still burns your retinas. You switch through the channels: news, sports, questionable stuff, kids show. You settled on my 30-day wedding. Is this inspired by 30-day fiancé or something? I forgot the name of the show. Yes, you know that just about everything in that show is staged. But you like it. You like seeing these people be petty, so petty towards each other. Seeing them beat the shiz out of each other over silly things like soap reminds you of why you're even here. Oh, I forgot to read her name. Her name is Alice. I know that some might think that I'm missing out on life, but I'm perfectly fine missing out on people. Even if my 30-day wedding is staged, you can't help but feel that there's some level of truth to the pettiness. You remember how when you actually attended class, some boy began to trying to prank you? And by prank, I don't mean silly things like dialing random numbers. I mean she's like trying to dump acid. Wait, what happened here? Dump acid on you? And it was all because I didn't want to work with him on a project. My God. What happened? Just because that's not petty, that's a crime. Maybe I came across too harshly when rejecting him. Girl, some boys don't get when we say no. You know, like we say no and then they just keep trying and trying until we get really mad and Hashi said no and they threat us. You know, like what happened with right now, it's about Didi case against Cassie, and recently it's, I forgot the name, Nash, the makeup artist for Cassie, and then the other one is Capricorn Clark. You guys maybe can watch TikToks on that or search on Twitter for the court case, what do you call it, transcript, yeah, for Didi case. It's not your fault, at least. Some boys, most boys I would say, can't accept no for an answer. A massive part of you believes that the world is a crappy place. But the idea that maybe it's your fault is tempting? No. You sit back and think on it some more. At least if something is your fault, you can fix it. You switch to the news channel. You feel like watching something informative. Good morning, citizens of Libretto City. Evening? You're not surprised, more disappointed in yourself than anything. You used to wake up at the crack of dawn to get... Sometimes this is me during holidays, weekends. Now you wake up at the crack of dusk to lay and rot. You bring your attention back to the TV, thoughts aren't good for you. Today we bring you a grisly case, a murder. Another one, just like every day. Yes, I know that you see these shits every day, but this one is so bad that we have to show you. You zone out a bit while the reporter talks about the crime case. Okay. About how the victim was found under Cardinal River with half of her face burned off and her breast torn. The victim was named Emma Greenwood. Why is this? Feels like I'm in the Hunger Games. Your ears perk up. You remember that she was one of your classmates back when you went to class, and she was also one of the only people to check up on you. No, good girls, yeah. Good people, good men, girls always goes first. I mean, pass away first. You're sure that she was a good person. She sure as heck didn't deserve to die in such a horrific way. Yeah, I agree. Why is the world like this? How is it that you could do everything right and still have something horrible happen to you? Man, that makes me think. But as someone, I'm a Muslim, so bad things happen. Usually it's a test. But if you die in a horrific way, that is also, I don't know, God works in a mysterious ways. There is always a reason behind things. You decide to sleep again. Just like every night you don't dream. On one hand, if you don't dream, you can't remind yourself that this situation does suck. Plus, you don't have nightmares about how a stranger is going to bust in to strangle you. On the other hand, sleep is getting boring without dreams. Sleep just consists of your random thoughts bouncing off each other. It's too much like when you're awake. Rise and shine again. Even though you get well over half a day of sleep, your eyes are still glued shut. Sounds like me today. Not to mention that the sunlight makes you want to clam your eyes. For me, that depends. You don't enjoy sunlight. You don't even go out to feel its warmth. It's just a nuisance to you, something that stops you from. You can't think of what it stops you from doing. Okay, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life? Rotting away, that's what. It's in moments like this where you question everything. No, you didn't question it when trash began piling up in your room. Nor did you question it when people show up at your dorm with bills, letters of expulsion, all that good crap. Now that sunlight is hitting you, you question it. Part of you wants to go over to the window and cover it up with something. But you also don't want to see the dent you left in the bed from how long you've laid here. It makes everything feel too real. You hide from the light under the wrinkled covers. You don't sleep under there, you lay awake. The sun barely penetrates the thin fabric, but it's better than your eyes being fried. There's nothing to distract you from your thoughts under the covers. Nothing but the faint buzzing of flies around the garbage. Okay. You try to make out little conversation the flies might be having. Yeah. You do something to escape from your own mind. So anything to distract you from your own mind. Okay, what happened here? After what feels like an eternity, the room is dark again. Okay. You prop yourself up again. Okay. Just another night of nothing. That's what I expect. Just like every single night since you cage yourself in here. The only difference is that now you're realizing how miserable it is. To be honest, people that Bedrot, they know what they're doing is not good for them, but it's so hard to wake up from it, you know. Like people that has depression or that mental health illnesses, especially depression lah. Yeah, it's only now that you realize how overpowering the stench is. You feel bad for whoever lives on this floor of the dorms, but that guilt isn't enough to drag you out. You haven't bothered to clean that up. Too much of a hassle when you already live in Phil. Okay. Why do you have a trash bin if you never use it? You're just waiting for the day for that wall to completely fall apart. Okay. You used to actually use this for studying. Now it just eats up energy you haven't paid for in weeks. The only problem with having this takeout container there is that it's probably all moldy now. Might make you die quicker though. Good. Looks like the floor has become your trash bin for tissues. What is this? Oh yeah, what is this? You can't discern what it is. Maybe it's a plant of some kind? You don't know what it would be living off. Maybe off of the food scraps under your bed. Maybe off the decaying wood. No use in wondering about it though. No use in wondering about anything now. You lay back in bed, stomach completely empty. As the days go on and on, you feel like your head's becoming more empty. You can remember how when you were younger, the lives of you and your sister were filled with joy and whimsy, as much as you can get in Libretto City at least. You know that your sister's off being productive, working in forensics of some kind. Heck, she's probably working on Emma Greenwood's case right as you wrote. How would she feel if she saw me like this? If she is really your sister, she would feel sad and try to help you. Everyone in my family thinks I'm off getting some psychology degree. They all think I'm actually doing something with my life when I'm just rotting. That's the best word for it. I used to be something, someone. Now I'm just some husk. You remember when Emma came to check up on you? She asked if anything had happened. You try to pinpoint what happened. You're still trying to be quite frank. Okay. At least if something did happen to you, this state of your life would be justified, right? Maybe it wasn't a single bad thing that happened. Maybe it was a bunch of smaller things piling up. Even though you spend the better part of the day sleeping, you're too tired to think. Well, that's depression for you. You just want to rest. It's been a long overdue. Man, this sounds like me few years ago. When you wake up, the sun is blaring on you and your little plant friend. Why is there so much sunlight out there? Libretto City is usually all dark and gloomy. Why is it all bright now all of times? Sometimes you like to think that it's sunny because you're not out there. Self-aggrandizing? F yeah. Funny? Heck yeah. At least it's funny in your mind. Seeing the sun out reminds me that everyone's out there doing stuff. At least in the night, people are doing what I do for most part. Eating, watching TV and sleeping. But I know that's not true when the sun is shining. You lay back down again. You truly hate being reminded of what you could be doing instead of laying in bed all day. You know it's your fault that you're like this. You struggle to sleep through the day, lost in thought. I know that some people out there feel the exact way that I do. Me right now, but I do less bed rotting now. But it manifests so differently for people. Some people just turn to, they find another way to escape. You found a way to escape life by sleeping, bed rotting. Maybe not sleeping, bed rotting, you just lay in bed and don't want to do anything. But alcoholism is really bad. Some turn to adrenaline hunting. Some throw themselves into their wood and become even more productive. This is quite healthy, but at the same time can be quite unhealthy. My throat. I think that any of those people are more productive than I am. Even the alcoholic and adrenaline junkie. Because at least they are putting themselves out into the world. Alice, why do my feelings manifest in this way? You need to talk to someone. Night falls yet again, just like every single night. Do you know how insanity is defined? You really should, considering that you barely survived one semester of university. No answer? Shucks. Explains why you stop attending class. Insanity is when you do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. That's exactly what you're doing. The thing is that I know nothing's gonna change. No shit, it isn't. I know that every single day is the same. But how different am I compared to other people then? Alright, good point. The way that you view it with regards to insanity, you're the same as most people. People go to university expecting to outshine their peers, even if they're reusing the same study habits from high school. People go to work every single day, doing random stuff for an apathetic boss, expecting that out of all of the other employees, they'll be the ones to get rich. It's all the same to you. My god, she makes sense. Except for the fact that society doesn't consider what you do to be productive. Agree. 100%. You do miss blissful ignorance. You hate being able to see the system for what they are. Yes, I can relate. You hate how you can just go along with it like everyone else. Even though it all is the same, the difference is that those people are happy, while I'm not. That's depression for you. Aw, don't be such a Debbie Downer. Maybe you should watch some TV to return to your usual state of apathy. TV? What's this? Yeah, it's getting longer. This plant looks different from yesterday. Smells different too. I'm afraid it's gonna consume you, Alice. What happened here? You used to care about that crack in the wall, but now it's just decoration. You barely smell the rotting trash from here, mostly because it blends in with the rest of the odors. It looks like the TV's off. Turn this TV off. Don't turn this TV off. I'm sorry. Kendrick lemah. You don't remember turning it off. Guess that they finally cut the power explains why the lamp's off. This day was coming. And now your one source of entertainment is gone. All that can keep me occupied now are my thoughts or sleep. Why does it matter that the power's gone? Most of my time is spent sleeping and thinking anyways. White noise rings in your mind, your stomach crumbles with hollowness, and your eyes just don't want to stay open. Regardless of it, you sleep for 3 or 18 hours. Your eyes want to stay clamped shut in eternal slumber. Your eyes give in and the darkness is all you see. Your other senses are heightened, but even they feel dull. You know that it smells slightly worse in here than usual. Yeah, because all the trash decompose. You're used to the stench of mold and rotting wood, and you're beginning to pick out the odor of decaying meat. The flies are gonna love that. You wake up from another dreamless night. That's good. Nothing to remind you of what you could be missing out on. And it's night. You either slept for only a few hours or for an entire day. I'm probably going to fall right back asleep any minute. Yeah, your eyes only open half like that. You're starting to wish that you stay asleep forever. Bro, a very useless TV. Same thing. It's close to blocking off the exit. It's not like it matters. I was never going to live in the first place. Quite the thought of despair here. But it's true, there's nothing out there for you. You're sure that no one in your family cares. You're sure that even if you finally did go out, you'll be miserable. Heck, the one person you remember being kind to you won't doubt that. What does that mean? Does it mean that you have to resort to it? Okay, if you want to live. The worst part of it all is that even after thinking about it, you don't know the root of your issues. Maybe it's just a bunch of small things snowballing up to the something massive, but you can't even figure out the smaller things. You fall back asleep for a long time, and again it's dreamless. You've come to realize that maybe you don't dream because your mind itself a prison. Okay, Alice. My god, it's getting longer. What is that? It smells like blood and guts are spread around the room. The scent of rot overpowers you. The exit's blocked. You're too late. The vines rot guts. The substance stays wrapped around you. You don't try to fight it. What the hell? You want to scream, but you're too tired. The strange tentacles poke through you, stitching you straight to bed. No. You never intended to live in the first place, not for a long time at least. But now you're truly chained to the bed. You expect to regret it all. You don't. You had no dreams to live for. So your nightmares became your reality. And Bedrot. Huh. What the... So that tentacle is actually our mind. This is how I interpret the game. So actually the tentacles is your mind chaining yourself to the bed, that you don't want to change it, you just want to stay. And Bedrot, like the title of the game. That's pretty scary actually. If actually there's actually not a bunch of huge tentacles just wrapping you around the bed, and you can't even leave if you want. What if you need to pee, or the nature calls, but you cannot? You're just chained to the bed. Okay. It's pretty straightforward, to be honest. So yeah, maybe you guys can try this game and interpret it for yourself. I don't know how many endings that this game has, because I didn't remember what is the full description of the game on the game page. But yeah, you guys can check this game out. I'm gonna link this game in my description. And I'm gonna end this video here. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and leave a comment down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me and watching this video so far. And take it easy. Bye bye.